Welcome to Be Youer, where we talk about healing and creating a soul-aligned life of freedom so you can live fully alive and true to yourself. I'm happy you're here. Hello. So I just put an oil mask in my hair and did like a whole scalp massage, and then I did some oil cleansing on my face. I feel like I popped a bubble of pressure. I feel so good. But while I was doing that, I was just like, dude, doing my podcast just audio is so much easier. And I'm thinking like, have I been holding myself back by like waiting until I was like ready to do video? So anyway, I'm on this really big overcoming perfectionism journey. And I know a lot of people relate to like, they have goals and then they think they want to do it a certain perfect way. So I like sharing these little things about it. If you are on the fence about podcasting, just do an audio one. Like, it's so much easier. But anyway, so I'm not really a scroller on social media, but I have recently been posting. So I've been a poster, so I've been opening it more. And I've been seeing a lot of things. And that's what prompted me to write this blog post that I'm going to use to guide me through this episode. Just about, certain things unfolding in the news and in the collective that are unsettling, because I went through this a long time ago of being like super disturbed by things, and I'm just going to go ahead and dive into it. So if you do see, who doesn't see some of the things, but it can leave you feeling unsettled. And it can, even if you get really into it, it can really, really take a toll on your mental health. It can leave you feeling even broken. So I'm not here to focus on the bad. Like, ultimately, I'm sharing with you how to move through this from my experience. I started going down rabbit holes in around like 2016, which was the time that my body really was screaming for help. I was kind of at my rock bottom with my health. My doctors weren't helping me. And that's when I found the holistic healing path. And anyone who heals naturally or is on that type of path knows how quickly the pieces begin to click. And you realize that our healthcare system and our food systems are upside down and practically designed to make us sick. So back then, I was like an innocent early 20s with a cutie patootie, rainbows and butterflies kind of mind. And it was really jarring to me to realize that people were actively making people suffer just to add to their billions of dollars that they were hoarding. I just felt like I really couldn't wrap my mind around people being like really bad people, and it was super jarring. And if you have also gone down rabbit holes, you know that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, this is nothing compared to the negativity that I have been exposed to at this point. And at a certain point, I became literally debilitated by the information I was consuming. I was finding myself like actually having, like, I was sleeping a lot more, like signs of depression, like disassociation, like very much deeply affected. And it was like my brain was working so hard to fathom how horrible some people can be and how much needless suffering happens, and that led me to feeling helpless and numb. And I felt like I was like myself traumatized by taking in stories of trauma. So this is when I learned to protect myself. And it really did come down to like, I didn't feel like the same person with my normal capacity to show up and serve in the way that I used to, because I have always had this wild sense of optimism that almost can come off as foolish. I'm an optimistic person. And like I said, I had that cutie patootie, rainbows and butterflies mindset, and I wanted it back. So like for a little while there, I craved blissful ignorance. I was like, can I just erase all of this? Like, I don't want to know it anymore. But when things balanced out, because they do with time, when you take a step back and you focus on other things, I realized that I didn't want to not know what was going on. I did want to know what was going on, and I'm sure you do too. I think a big part of that reason why we want to know the truth, we want to know the events that are happening, is because we care about justice, about protecting the vulnerable, and about safety for all. But for the highest good of all, it's got to be balanced. None of us are able to have the best impact we could have when we're overly focused on negativity. Like, it is already so unnatural to live in the modern world in general, like the way it is, but it is extra unnatural to be aware of every event happening in the world. There's no time in human history that we've lived like this. Like, the percentage of time that we have had access to know world events constantly, it's way less than 0.01% of human existence. Like, how could this not drag us down and prevent us from thriving and making the level of difference that we're capable of making? And just a side note, making a difference doesn't necessarily always look like something like feeding the homeless. Like, you create endless ripple effects in the world just by being you. Like, I love talking about purpose because I think that so many people think of it in such a logical way. It's like, your purpose is just you being you in every moment. Like, whether you are walking down the street, talking with somebody, speaking on stage, I don't know, helping somebody elderly cross the street, or you're sitting at home on your couch, you are so connected to other humans that whatever you're doing is making a difference. That's purpose. Your purpose, and you're here for a reason. I mean, that's a whole different topic. But this brings me to my belief that just like upside down healthcare and food systems, this system of delivering horrible stories constantly is also designed to make us sick. Okay? So since 2016, back when I first started going down these rabbit holes, I learned that we have to protect ourselves instead of expecting external systems to protect us. Like, I had been depending on the healthcare and food system and trusting it all my life. And I realized I have to step in and protect myself, right? Then as I learned more and more and more about the ways that we're not protected, which I'm not getting into, I really did realize that in every way, I want to be as self-sufficient and self-dependent as possible. And I recognized my own power in that. So let me explain, because I think this is exactly what I mean. It's like warfare on our mindset and our minds and our beliefs. So to protect yourself doesn't look like anxiously defending yourself and focusing on how fair it is that you have to protect yourself. Like, protecting yourself doesn't look like protecting yourself. It looks like remembering that we ultimately live in a free country, if you're in the US, and that we ultimately decide what we give our attention to, who we give our money to, besides taxes, unfortunately, and how we spend our time. It looks like making choices that support our own minds, bodies, souls, and lives, because number one, it is our birthright to feel incredible in our human existence. And number two, us doing so creates the highest potential of a positive effect on others. Okay, let me repeat that. You taking care of yourself creates the highest potential of a positive effect on others. Seriously, how helpful are you after you consume a lot of content about negative things versus when you take care of yourself? Am I telling you to never take in the information about the happenings in the world? Absolutely not. You decide what works for you, and you decide what you can do that doesn't leave you and thus the world worse off. Because that's what's happening. People are left worse off, and it's all about finding the balance that works for you. And we're all unique in how we process these things. Now I want to talk about our focus, okay? It is so deeply important because you've probably heard what you focus on expands. Our brain has something called the reticular activating system. And through the RAS, I'm going to call it, we know that our brain only processes 0.0004% of what's actually happening around us. Okay? This is why we can experience the same thing very differently, like the same reality very differently. So the information that you process from around you is based on your focus. So I want you to try this right now. Look around the room, and how many things can you find that are gold? I want you to actually try this. I'm going to give you a good few seconds here. Okay, I counted mine. Okay. How many things did you see that were purple? Did you count anything that was yellow or brass as gold? You were so focused on gold, so that's what you processed, even though there was much more around you and you didn't even see it. So please understand that your focus is not just powerful for you. Your focus is valuable to others. So don't freely give it away. Be intentional with it. Find the balance and hold the boundary around it. Once I became intentional with my focus, I still struggled with some negative doomsday beliefs, and I struggled to believe in humanity the way I did earlier in life. I have deep-seated beliefs that humans are innately good. Because many of our core beliefs are formed in childhood, and I was super blessed with an incredibly pure, kind, genuine, of integrity, just good group of people as my family and friends. But I'm not going to lie, all of the negativity made me fear people. Like people I didn't know, people in power, like people that were not already established as safe to me. And I noticed that a lot of the world was becoming divided. So people in general were starting to fear other people or hate other people more and more. So how I handled this was I actively worked on my subconscious mindset, my beliefs about people. The subconscious mind controls 95% of our reality. And its main concern is keeping us safe. So it's no wonder that when we focus on all these negative things and these people doing bad things, it latches onto these scary stories and keeps them front of mind because it's trying to keep us safe. So I knew I didn't want to live a life scared of people. I'm a people person. I love people. So what did I do? I focused my attention on good people, on the helpers, on uplifting stories of humanity. And I genuinely, there was a day I went through my social media following list and muted and unfollowed anyone that made me feel negative, or like I would happen to see posts that like really stuck with me and brought me down. And I started to follow people that were kind of like what I would call like a light worker, like doing things actively in the world to make the world a better place and sharing positive stories. Like I got very, very serious about what I watched on TV, what music I listened to, what people I followed, like everything that was mentally consumption was very intentional because I learned I had to protect my mind. So, like I said, I was focusing on these people, but then I also did something that is like even more important. I stretched from my safe inner circle and I got out. I traveled, and just in day-to-day life, I spoke to strangers. And ultimately, I gently proved to my subconscious mind that majority of people are indeed good. So it's like I took action and got out there to actually, in my body, really, in a real way, in real life, experience good people. And on top of this, I also repeated mantras. Like I used to say to myself all the time, like the world is full of good people. I always run into good people. People are good. Like I literally would, that was included in my affirmation list. I journaled about it. Like I cared a lot about this. I did some mindset stuff about it, but like the real power is in taking that action. I mean, it's all important, but I just think there's nothing like taking action, getting out and interacting with people so it becomes undeniable to your brain. And of course, this works for any limiting belief. Like this is like my biggest thing I teach people is like work on the subconscious mind and take that action. So my belief at the end of the day is that all humans are innately and naturally loving, caring, safe, just good. I believe people are born and are naturally good. I believe that hurt people, and that the root of a lot of disturbing behavior is trauma. And to be clear, this does not mean that everyone with trauma has disturbing behavior, not at all. There are some really hurt people out there that are doing awful things or have done awful things, but I believe they are the tiniest percentage of the population, and it is our focus on them that is like making it expand, especially in our perception. Like we're perceiving things as way more of a humanity problem than like a bad apple problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe that neuroplasticity, which is the brain's lifelong ability to restructure and rewire, this goes to like that subconscious mind rewiring, and then also the resilience of the human body always working to be in homeostasis, those things indicate that people can heal from trauma. I pray for people who do bad things. I pray for them every day because I truly believe they need healing. I don't know the answer for these people. But what I do know is that majority of people are good. I believe that light will always outshine darkness. And I believe that we ultimately, each of us, have far more power over our reality and the world than any darkness would want us to believe. And it's okay if you have different beliefs from me. But my ultimate wish for you is that you are very intentional with your focus and you understand that protecting yourself is not selfish. It's for the highest good of all. So with that, I love you. I hope this was helpful. And share it with anyone you know who's having a hard time with what's going on in the world, or honestly, just having a lot of negativity in their life in general. All right? Love you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. The best way to say thank you is by subscribing and leaving a review.
If you enjoyed this episode,
share it with someone you love, or post it on social media and tag me at Kristen Rose XO.
You can find all my free resources and current offers at KristenRoseXO.com.
That's Kristen with an E.
That's Kristen with an E.
Everything is linked for you in the show notes.
Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.
And I'll talk to you soon.